Welcome back to the deep dive. Our mission today, we're going to cut through the noise and really decode a massive 12-week blueprint. This comes from the third product increment planning session, the PI planning.
No.
It was a pretty intense 4-day session that wrapped up mid-September.
Yeah, that planning session was foundational, really. When all the teams got aligned on priorities, what came out was this super detailed 12-week delivery plan. It spans 5 core digital value streams. And this quarter, it wasn't just about, listing features. It was strategic, matching the product vision for consumers with the architectural runway needed.
Right.
Basically, what tech do we have to fix before we can build the cool new stuff?
Okay, right. Let's unpack that. So for you, our listener, this is pretty much the digital roadmap for the next 3 months. We're going to break down the key commitments, where the main focus and resources are going, and what those internal scores actually mean. Speaking of scores, we keep seeing these BV numbers attached to things. Business value. What's the scale we're talking about here?
That's crucial detail. Right, so the teams score features usually up to 9 or 10, a business value of 9. That means it's immediate high impact,
Right.
like a direct revenue driver or something critical for keeping customers.
Okay.
But then you see features with a BV of 5, which we'll see a lot with the infrastructure work. Those are foundational, not like flashy maybe, but without them, scaling up or supporting those big BV9 features, it becomes, well, impossible. It's like future insurance.
Perfect. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, with that framework, let's start where the immediate commercial pressure seems highest, strengthening loyalty and adapting for global reach, all within the Club of Volta platform.
Yeah, the investment here is huge. It really signals a clear competitive focus. We're seeing P1 features top priority scoring BVs of 8 and 9, and they're all designed to make membership, more rewarding and more flexible across the globe.
So tell us about the immediate needs. What's being tackled right now in key markets?
Okay, so the first P1 item is really about the immediate commercial needs, particularly in a dynamic market like the UK. This initiative, let's call it the member pricing adaptation, basically lets teams add non-member promotions right alongside the exclusive member pricing on web, app, PWA.
Okay. So adapting the loyalty structure to allow for those tactical local promos, but without sort of undermining the core member value proposition.
No.
That sounds like a tricky balance.
It is, exactly. You want drive membership, but you still need to give local commercial teams that flexibility to compete, in real time.
Right.
So this gives the commercial side the agility while still protecting that exclusive member pricing idea. And speaking of member value, another high priority one, the rewards redesign. That's purely about user experience. Rewards are great, but if members can't find them easily,
They're useless.
pretty much, they lose value. So by improving the display, the guidance within the mobile app, the team is actually targeting a 10% increase in views. That tells you they see visibility as a key factor for actually getting people to use the rewards.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And that sets the stage for what looks like the next evolution of loyalty, moving way beyond the current system. This is the biggest strategic leap this quarter, isn't it? The point system.
Oh, definitely. We are. The introduction of this new loyalty currency project, it's a P2 feature, but it signals a major step, shifting the whole paradigm from the current benefits model towards introducing an actual point currency, richer tier rewards, maybe even a new membership level.
Wow.
Yeah, the scale of this. It needs a fundamental shift in how the platform works, which is why the home screen and the loyalty dashboard are getting completely redesigned. To support it, make progression and rewards feel immediate, practical. It's not just a facelift, it's a competitive move, aiming for that deeper, stickier customer relationship.
Okay, that makes perfect sense.
Right.
But to support that kind of shift, the foundational tech work has to keep up, right?
Mm-hmm.
I see quite a bit of effort going into unifying the underlying customer identity systems. Why did this single sign-on, the SSO flow redesign, get P1 priority but only a BV of 5? That foundational score.
That's a great question. It really highlights the trade-offs you have to make in PI planning. The SSO redesign, specifically for the Emporium platform, it's all about a faster, more intuitive sign-in and registration. It might seem basic, but it's critical. It supports migrating the remaining legacy divisions onto Club of Volta accounts. If your identity system is fragmented, well, you can't offer unified points or consistent rewards.
Right, you can't tie it all together.
Exactly. This SSO work is the linchpin. It lets the whole ecosystem eventually operate under one loyalty umbrella. It's, like we said, insurance for the long-term success of the new points system.
Understood. Building the plumbing first. And I also noticed some foundational work on the Club of Volta website itself.
Yeah.
Treating it like a proper central touch point now.
Yes, exactly. The team's doing an audit and basically taking over klubavolta.com. Even though it started as just a static branding site, they recognize it's now a central, high-traffic spot for members. So to add better info, more features, which is essential for supporting the new tiers and points, it needs that solid technical setup and defined processes.
Okay, let's switch gears slightly to the global requirements. There seems to be a cluster efforts targeting localization, especially Asia.
Yeah, if we group the P3 features slightly lower priority but still important, they're largely focused on marketing efficiency and just clarity. There's this initiative to enhance the preferred language setting across the app, the SSO web login, and also the WeChat mini app. The key output here is getting that language data to complete customer profiles in Salesforce, so the marketing team can actually communicate in the right language, makes campaigns way more effective.
And the China focus within the WeChat mini app sounds particularly targeted at reducing friction for local users there.
Precisely. For China, they're tackling confusion and relevance head on. One feature makes sure the right rewards show up in the right language. Which sounds basic, but it stops Chinese members seeing English rewards by default, which was happening.
Oh, okay.
And they're also adapting the display to show member pricing to non-members. It's a tactic specifically to encourage that initial sign-up, boost loyalty adoption in that market.
This whole loyalty push makes a ton of sense. But, all that customer stickiness is kind of wasted if the transaction fails or the logistics are clunky. So let's talk about the engine room, shopping, and operational efficiency. This stream looks heavily weighted towards infrastructure, migrations, P1 features, simplifying logistics.
Yeah, the sheer density of P1 features here, many with that top BV score of 9, tells you that execution and fulfillment are just paramount this quarter. The most consequential, the really big one, is the Emporium migration. This is that technical linchpin we mentioned earlier.
Explain the commercial risk here. What happens if this migration isn't prioritized right now?
Well, until Emporium is successfully moved to the new infrastructure, scaling globally is basically impossible. And new loyalty features. They can't be fully used across all product lines. So this P1 is focused on doing it right, a compliant migration, making sure customer access isn't disrupted. Why? To cut down on churn, reduce the customer support load from transition hours, and crucially, it's the vehicle that enables modern stuff like Salesforce personalization and analytics on the new platform. It's really a make-or-break project for Q3.
Right. And to make that engine run smoothly, you need good data, I assume.
Absolutely. Completing the remaining data layer web implementation, that's a BV9 feature for a reason. This puts Google Analytics for events across the websites. It gives a team vastly better insights into customer behavior. Without it, optimizing the sales funnel is, frankly, largely guesswork.
Okay. And the operational P1s for the Retail and Commerce Division R&C, they seem to show a clear effort to unify airport processes and empower staff.
Yeah, it's all about streamlining complexity, reducing labor costs, essentially. First, the team is unifying the complex airport terminal setups for JFK, EWR, and ORD in the system.
Why?
Simpler management, basically, which directly improves the customer experience through consistency. And that unification then enables automated stock transfers for online orders, gets rid of complex, error-prone manual workarounds in the logistics chain. Huge efficiency gain.
And what about empowering the staff actually on the floor?
The OMS editing basket, that's key here. The OMS order management system, that's what staff use for transactions. This new feature lets staff accurately recreate pay-in-store orders, retain items, track additional sales. It just professionalizes the whole order editing process, ensures accurate data flows back, which is crucial for inventory, sales reporting, all that.
I also see high priority on keeping product data reliable too.
Yes. There's a P1 focused on automating product activation for Makinio. That's the product info system. Regardless of when the last stock or price update happened in the ERP system, it just eliminates manual workarounds entirely, makes sure the website info is always accurate and available when it should be.
Okay, flipping to the customer-facing side then, what UX improvements are driving conversions this quarter?
Well, we see a major P1 focused squarely on reducing customer drop-offs during checkout. That's a clear indicator of conversion optimization focus.
Always a big one.
Always. And that runs alongside features optimizing the product listing pages and the product detail pages, using design-led UI/UX improvements, explicitly targeting an increase in the add-to-bag conversion rate. Every one of these is scored BV8 or higher because, well, they directly impact the bottom line.
Right. And finally, there's some necessary stuff. Regulatory compliance work, specifically for Brazil.
Yeah, what's interesting here is how the digital teams are actually baking essential policy compliance right into the workflow. it's necessary to keep operating there. So P2 features for Brazil include informing RNC customers about the single order customs limit they have to acknowledge it during the transaction, and also enforcing a strict $200 discount limit, both in the order management system and in the app. These aren't just admin changes, they're like compliance gates needed for legal market participation.
Okay. Let's move to the final strategic group, the engagement streams. So now we're stepping outside core loyalty points and shopping transactions, looking at how the platform keeps users active and engaged when they're not strictly buying something.
Right. The travel and Omni stream, that's focused on seamless experience continuity. The P1 Omni product wish list is crucial here, creating one unified wish list across the app and website. That increases user engagement and the likelihood of conversion, average spend. It bridges that gap between just browsing and actually buying, keeping things consistent between platforms.
Makes sense.
And we also see some preliminary work, they call it a spike for automatic trip import, laying the groundwork for more proactive, contextual engagement down the line.
And F&B, food and beverage, looks like it's all about driving interaction in the actual store, moving digital behavior into the physical world.
Correct. The key feature there is enhancing the QR code ordering solution. It's designed to boost sales, increase the average check size, and most importantly, integrate with the Club of Volta app. Why? To drive member benefit usage right at the point of consumption, reinforces the value of that new loyalty program immediately.
So,
And to actually get people into the stores, they're also centralizing store event data via a new store events API. Makes events visible on web and mobile platforms. Easier to find out what's on.
okay, and here's where we see maybe the biggest strategic pivot in how the company approaches retention. The
Okay.
entertainment stream. We're moving deep into gamification territory here.
This is significant, yeah. The introduction of streaks for entertainment within the Club of Volta app, it's explicitly noted as a tool to boost user retention. This isn't about rewarding spending per se, it's about encouraging daily returns, building lasting usage habits, using psychological triggers, like successful fitness apps or language apps do.
Right.
The goal is building those long-term, low-friction habits. Make sure the user just doesn't uninstall the app.
That's a huge shift. Recognizing loyalty isn't just transactional, it's behavioral. And I see they're tying physical play back into the digital profile, too.
That's the integration of the sports simulator. It's a mixed reality experience they have. Users who engage physically get their gaming scores and videos sent to them afterward. It keeps them connected to the app even after they leave the physical location. Turns a single physical interaction into a lasting digital thread.
So wrapping this all up, what does it mean? We've definitely seen a clear 12-week plan. It seems centered around two major themes: consolidation and aggressive loyalty enhancement. We see foundational migrations like Emporium, massive operational improvements in shopping execution, and this significant future-proofing overhaul of Club of Volta loyalty with points, tiers, redesigns.
Yeah, and if we connect this to the bigger picture, what really stands out is that essential link between the technical investment and the commercial drivers. The teams aren't just building cool tech for its own sake. Those SSO flows, the data layer completion, the sophisticated OMS tools for staff, these are all BV 5 to 9 features, right? Designed to support very specific, granular, global business needs, reducing churn, enabling targeted campaigns in the UK, simplifying logistics for RNC, preparing for complex compliance in markets like Brazil. The digital runway is being completed to handle maximum commercial demands.
Right, and that runway needs engaged users to really take off. Which brings us back to engagement. The heavy reliance on concepts like streaks and gamification in that entertainment stream. It suggests the platform recognizes the need to look beyond traditional rewards, to use psychological triggers to sustain user habits. So we'll leave you with this final thought to consider. What other historically transactional areas of this platform might benefit from similar engagement mechanics, not just rewards, but actual habit building in the future? Something to chew on.